cracks near high stress areas such as heat affected zone, coating defects, bends. What do you have to say about that?
Do you want to take that one, Bruce?
Sure. So you kind of mix things in there. Like for the coating would have nothing to do with the stress, right? So basically, it's just the stress that the crack sees will determine its failure pressure and also determine basically its fatigue growth. And so again, it depends on the circumstances of where you're at. Like the models and the methodology accounts for that, there will be variations, but as Ken alluded to, I mean, there's no silver bullet, right? And so you have to look at the specific circumstances. And that gets to when you're looking and interpreting your ILI data, you have to understand the context of how the feature's reported, right? Where the feature's located, what's the physical geometry at the location it's created, are there secondary stresses, is there potential stress intensification of some secondary type. All that gets factored in, and that's kind of inherent in that general term data integration, is be aware of all the essential variables that would influence fitness for purpose of that feature.
You guys, I enjoyed that. That was really interesting. But one of the things, I work in the pipeline industry, so I understand when you talk about pressure cycling, and I understand the notion of crack tools seeing features and when you go out. But I think what we are seeing more and more is the general public, landowners, other stakeholders want to know more about this information, and this information is very technical. And until I worked in the pipeline industry, I would have been alarmed that, what do you mean you saw a feature and you're not immediately sending someone out there? And I know how that works now, so I know that that isn't always the case. And I like to see that you did give parameters for when immediate reaction is required. But is there any plan or vision to help maybe present some of these materials in a way that are a person not in the industry, who's not an engineer, so they could understand that? Do you guys have a vision for that, a communication vision, I guess?
I'll just make one quick comment. That's why I'm here. But I'll let Stuart expand on it.
Yeah, so from an industry perspective, and Bruce alluded to this at the kind of the closing of his discussion there, was implementation, right? So historically, API, and with the industry's help, has created these RPs, and I'm not going to say, like Carl likes to say, they became shelf art, but I mean, a lot of people just kind of took them and said, used them when they needed them. And so that can't happen anymore. I think industries recognize that there needs to be some type of implementation process, not just from a technical standpoint, but also from landowner, those type of stakeholder standpoint. So like Bruce said, we're here because we want to reach out to this audience and recognize that there are people here that want to know about the technical stuff, and so we want to help answer those questions. API's website hopefully will become a tool that everybody can use to kind of learn some of the technical details and kind of answer some of your questions. So yes, we haven't done a good job in the past, but that's changing, and so we want to reach out to not necessarily our technical stakeholders, but also the landowners, those folks that operate or that own the land we operate on. So.